You ever watch a series and you feel like, wow, somebody looked into my soul and checked every box that I need to make me love this? That checklist has been fulfilled with the anime Heaven's Design Team. It is a fantasy workplace series, only lasted 12 episodes. A gosh darn shame, if you ask me. I can easily see how it could make 100 episodes, but I also think I understand why it didn't. Good and bad, but I really love it. I love this series because it's all about how God outsourced designing the animal kingdom to a group of, I would say, demigods. And how their job is to make animals like from scratch or from drawing and up, and it's just fascinating. I just find it so interesting and cool and fascinating. Now, when you read about animal research, everything is like over time of where you watch an animal do something and then you examine it, you observe it, you dissect it to find out why it does the thing. This series goes in reverse with that because they the team gets some random whim from their client, God, who is a stickler. You can never totally make him happy, and what does make him happy is often a surprise. But anyway, they try to fulfill the order to the best of their creativity and sensibilities. And yeah, it just gets so weird. And it's so interesting to see how, they build up from that to make it work, to make it function. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful to me. I think it was originally meant to be like an educational program for children because who else cares about animals this much? I do. People love animals. Grown-ups who work with animals like to see this kind of trivia. It's fun. It's a workplace anime. So as somebody in a workplace, you can kind of relate to the qualms of it. Oi, deadlines are aggravating. Oi, coworkers, even when you try to understand them and try to meet them midway, you're still frustrated by their suggestions and their stubbornness, blah, blah, blah. But even so, this is a really happy work environment because what they do is fascinating and beautiful and just incredible. Just so cool. Every character in this series is very important and very necessary. Now, some of the designers I absolutely love and adore and I feel seen by. Some I find distasteful, but I understand their efficiency, I understand who they represent, and I understand why they're needed. I do. Shimanoku is not the protagonist. It's kind of implied in the, opening that he is. I think he's more of an audience surrogate. He's curious about what the design team's job is, and he's, I don't want to say ignorant exactly, but apparently this angel boy was born yesterday, so he has a sense of wonder and amazement at every little thing that, the team does. And I do share that with him, the wonder of it. I know a little bit more about animals, but no, that's just being an animal nerd. He's actually training to be the new in between person. The first one was this busty blonde who would, go between God and the team to say, oh yeah, this is the order. The pickiest client. He has a lot of strange requests, and filling them in, the team does the best they can. What's really weird is when he decides, stop, no, that's perfect. That's when we get the more arbitrary kind of creatures in the animal kingdom. I mean, heck, I think they're amazing, so I don't mind, but it honestly might be the only rational explanation with evolution, just because why not? So all of the team, they actually can be quite tired of God sometimes because his just whole, okay, it's good, we can just stop there, even when it's absolutely ridiculous. I find amusing because, hey, how else can you explain something like the anteater? How? Yeah, it's funny because Shimano-kun, he is a very devout Christian. He always loves and appreciates God and his kindness. And the team is like, no, no, that was not an extension. That was just him saying, it's not good, start over. I love that. Oh, God. That is one of the reasons I don't think this show lasted as long as it could have. Let's see. Oh, and another one of their clients is some kind of ghoul from the underworld. Yes, there was an episode where they tried to make Cerberus a thing. So, he loves the team. He respects the team. Yeah, he's there every day, so his workplace is his life. I feel that. Let's see. First, we have Neptune. Oh, and I relate to that big guy. He's basically the teddy bear hug if it was a person. Yeah, he loves making adorable things. He likes making fuzzy things. We have him to thank for the otter and the rabbit and just, the anteater. Yeah. How they figured out how to give all of them their fun little quirks, like say the rabbit's amazing legs, the function of its ears, the skull of its head, all of that. Ugh. Now, it is a team effort. Like a lot of people had to help contribute with him. Like his coworker Jupiter is the one that introduced the otter to the cold food of the sea, like the deep dark cold. Originally, otters were not well, Neptune's design. Otters were not really meant to go all the way down. They were supposed to just be omnivores that just settled between going on land and sea like frogs. And the otters were to eat frogs, but no. Just because the otter tasted his coworker's lunch, he had a very naughty love of seafood, rich seafood. And yeah, you couldn't really, or at least, like, Neptune didn't have the heart to deter the otter, so he just helped him design it to make it work with them for the otter to learn to take care of himself, for them to learn how he could, like, hold body heat by holding hands, like when they float and how they wrap themselves with little seaweed. But yeah, most of the time this show is about, oh, how can I add this part? Because this part, like the otter's cute little paw pads, I just like that in animal design, so I really want that to be part of it. It's not just an aesthetic, they also want it to function because they want to see that kind of animal exist. Kind of like how, I don't know, an architect likes a certain kind of appeal in a building. As long as it has a function, or as long as it doesn't get in the way of bigger function, it can be kept. So Neptune is a very sweet and gentle guy. And he doesn't let the cuteness stop him, but he's more simple. Okay, I made it soft, it has a widow nose, and it has those beady black eyes. My job is done. Unless they tell him, nope, make a little more, just a little more. It's like, but he's perfect the way he is. I can't ask him for any more. Precious. Let's see. Oh, going back to his coworker with the lunch, Jupiter is the kind of animal lover I like the least. He is proud of his job. He likes to make cool animals. He likes to make interesting animals. And he also likes to make animals that taste good. The masterpiece he is most proud of is the cow. Are cows delicious? Yes. But the fact that he asks if any animal is edible is so creepy to me. But I can't deny that a lot of people do that, even with the most poisonous animals. Now, at first I was like, okay, people were ignorant. They didn't know animals had poison sacs or were just very thin in meat. They didn't know that before cutting them up. But the fact that people have gone through with that and decided, oh yeah, I can make delicious food out of chunks. Must you, I was on a roll. There are plenty of animals we should not be eating. I'm mostly thinking about poisonous fish. I think it's cool that we can find very, intricate ways to eat these creatures, but do we have to? Like, can't we just let them be poisonous and live free? No, no. And Jupiter, yeah, you're always smiling as you say these things, so you look so warm and friendly, and he's a nice guy, but his priorities on the animals' designs, I don't totally agree with. I did love the episode where he was trying to make an animal with like using a rib cage as a weapon as protection. Gave a very cool Wolverine vibe. And in the beginning of the episode, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be the scorpion. It was not the scorpion. It was actually the turtle, which led to all kinds of other cool stuff, like where the turtle's bones are placed inside so that their lungs can work, even though they don't have like the rib cage to help them breathe like so many other creatures do. That was fabulous to me. That was so interesting. Now, I really expected if they did a turtle that it was going to be something really, I don't know, predictable. Like, hey, let's see if this animal doesn't mind being kicked. Let's see if this animal can be attacked but turned into a steel ball, like armadillos. Steel is an exaggeration, but yeah, I honestly thought that's how we'd find out about armadillos and turtles. The fact that it came because some dude was wondering how can we make bones a weapon, that was really neat. Pluto is a character where no one knows where she's going. She never does what you expect. unless you're expecting something honestly kind of creepy and disturbing. I can honestly admit that sometimes I am that person because I don't mind if the animal is violent or creepy. I just think it's cool that it's able to do something. She honestly designs most parasites, and she's the reason koalas eat their poop. I mean, she gives them good reason to. Apparently there are two types. One is nutritious for babies, and the other is just poop. And the fact that God approved that proves that he is a sick, sick creature with a decent sense of humor. But no, no, she looks like a kid, and to be honest, in a lot of animes, whether they're like an 8-year-old to a 40-year-old, they all sort of look like the same age group. That's the crazy thing about animes, but that's also what makes them fun. But no, no, she's our creepy crawly. She's our little goth. And yeah, she has made some of the not so beautiful animals, but animals with amazing abilities. Like the squid. I didn't know about its reflective powers and such like that. You always hear, oh yeah, ink stuff, but no. And the person to help us, like, test run all these crazy ideas is Mars. Now, she is the person that builds them. She's the person that tells you what's wrong with the project. She's the mechanic of it all. Like, the designers will draw it out, come up with the ideas, and she's the one that says, okay, this is how your foundation's not gonna work. This thing cannot get air. It cannot climb that hard. It does not have the body type. It does not have the strength. Wait, it's not getting enough food in it. It's going into shock. Oh, God. Like, she doesn't say it so much in a grumpy way, it's just a matter of fact way, but, oh, her job is just so neat. Like, I'm not saying that she just opens a hatch and changes something in the animal, but that is kind of like the impression that you get from it. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, we have Venus! And it's very cool, I think, that Venus is a trans woman. They don't say that exactly, but they don't say anything else other than, this is her, these are her pronouns, respect it. She mostly treasures birds, and it is her greatest joy that she was able to make them so light for flight and design all their different wings, because she just wanted to be an artist and paint them in all the different ways to make them delicate and regal. And it's only from fighting with her other coworkers and all the crazy, predators that they invent that she's made birds also clever and resourceful. So, yeah, it's really neat. She doesn't only do birds, but she's very proud of them. And I like how everyone in the show respects her pronouns. I like that I live in a time where, yeah, people can be respected and, be respected for their brains and such. So, yay, Venus! I like that you have a good coworker space. I like that. Let's see. Oh, then you have Mercury. And he is the straight-laced one. He is all about efficiency, which is why he is the inventor of the snake. Snakes are pretty cool in the fact that they are strong, they are fast, they have very few weaknesses, but a lot of cool gadgets up their sleeves, their eyes, their bodies, just heck, I learned from this show that there's even a gliding snake because it opens its ribs and glides on air. That's so cool. It's actually very believable. No, it is real. Like, you can look it up. All these animals are truly, alive in the world. But I don't know, it's just so cool that not only does something like that exist, but even if you didn't know that it existed, somebody would play around with anatomy to make something like that exist. It's magic. It's what I love about animation. He isn't condescending to his coworkers as much as he's just sort of the wet blanket. He doesn't care much about all of the cool abilities, just, is this fulfilling the assignment? Is this doing the right thing? Like, he sometimes beats Mars to the punch of why this does not work out for this certain animal, like why these features are just unnecessary. They look cool, but no. But whatever coworker it may be, they will try to find a compromise with him to give at least some version of what they want to see happen in the animal. Even if it's a little one, they do. Oh, like the secretary bird in Venus. She made a beautiful big bird, but she also made it vicious and powerful enough to eat snakes. And Mercury, being a professional, he respected that. I mean, yes, he loves the snakes, but he respected her ingenuity. And that's neat. Oh, and there's sweet old man Saturn, and he made one of the most majestic animals of all time, the horse. So much about horses are just so mighty and powerful and cool. Such a cool, cool design. And he's not an old man that's gone silly, and he's not a mean, stubborn man. No, he's a very friendly dude, very easy to talk to. But he has not let go of the horse. It's funny. It's actually really funny how often he tries to say, hey, can we give that Pegasus another try? Because I think I found the way. Now, this show was okay with supporting the concept of dragons, like to a certain extent, but I love how they were just like, no, no, these certain features cannot work on the Pegasus. For some reason, his ideas were transferred over to the narwhal, and that worked out, but no Pegasus, no unicorns. Pity and a shame. But the fact that he keeps trying, and I don't blame him. Horses are beautiful and so powerful. Like, I do not blame him. I love how down the hallway, the other departments in their building are like the insect department, where, yeah, sometimes animals and insects will share abilities or share ideas. Like how they borrowed the thing about how bees can like hover and float into the hummingbird. That's so cool. Like, oh my God. I love that was just like a transfer idea. Oh. At first I thought, they were gonna go back and say, oh yeah, when we first started here, we were doing all like these giant, hairy, like big creatures, like the prehistoric creatures. No, like time is it's a loose concept in this world, okay? They aren't so much doing it from an evolutionary standpoint as much as this is what I'm trying to fulfill and this is what I come up with. And yeah, the animals just come from all over at all different times and such. It's kind of fabulous. It's just so wonderful. And I don't care about the timeline of history and the order of those things. I just love how they explain or how they discover how a creature can start out looking like this and then end up like this. Like, oh my God. Though I understand why this show did not last long, because not everyone can be so excited about something as just quaint and cute as animals. And I think that's too bad because, yeah, they get about 2 or 3 animals every episode, but there are thousands more they could explain and dive into. Like, they barely touched fish. Or primates. Like, oh, so much to be explored and understood. And God, all the like weird cousins, like giant otters and mountain lions, and oh, so much they could do. So yes, I understand how it's hard to budget for animals. I've worked in animal communities enough to know that it's easy for people to wipe their hands of animals and forget about them because, hey, if it's not my pet dog, why should I care? Disappointing, but that is the truth of it. It's hard to sell people on, hey, it's just amazing that these things exist. I mean, I buy it, but it's hard to sell it on a big population. So, no, this show's not for everybody. I do think it can be enjoyed by kids and adults. Obviously, the educational part is what you assume for kids, but I think some adults will have to explain some of the nuances of, like, why would a koala have 2 penises? And who even thinks about that? Oh yeah, parasites are not nice creatures and we try to avoid them as much as we can, but they exist. No reason to sugarcoat that or pretend they don't. Also, the predators things. Instead of saying, damn you predator, like you bad creature, bad, it's more like, wow, it's so cool that you're able to do that. So yeah. Heaven's Design Team, I want to rewatch you over and over again because yeah, you have so much fun information for me. I feel like now for the rest of my life, when I look up an animal, I'm going to try and imagine how you guys would like come up with this creature. Like, what were your thought processes? Which character put more effort into which item? So yeah, that's really cool and special, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful I found this anime.